And now, please welcome your hosts, Amy and Trey Castles.
Hey everyone, it's Amy Castles.
Well, hello, Amy Castles.
Hi, Trey. Well, happy fall, y'all.
Don't do that.
I am. Happy fall, y'all. Time for get y'all pumpkin spice latte.
Is Sandy coming back?
Sandy is coming back. I miss Sandy.
I don't.
You don't miss Sandy?
I mean, there was a couple good ones, but then it was like, yeah, I'm kind of over Sandy.
Oh, that's really rude.
I know.
That's mean. Well, happy fall. I'm excited. I love the cold. Okay, hold on. I like 70-degree weather. If it could just be 70 degrees all the time, I mean, I don't understand why we can't just have 70-degree weather every day, all throughout the year.
San Diego gets you close to that.
Yeah, maybe that's why it's so expensive to live in California. Everybody wants the that nice weather where you can wear jeans if you want to and not be too hot, or you could wear jeans or jean shorts and not be too cold. It's just right.
You'd think that, but a lot of people are now in Texas from California.
Okay, this is my favorite time of year to start making soups. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, we've had it 5 out of the last 6 nights.
Okay. Let's listen.
I mean, I wasn't meaning that like rudely. I was just that was factual.
You had spaghetti and meatballs last night.
I don't really consider that spaghetti.
It was kind of gross, huh?
It was.
The
meatballs were good, but I mean,
the sauce was different. It was a different sauce.
the sauce was different, and then the what was that? The squash crap.
Spaghetti squash.
Spaghetti squash.
I didn't have gluten-free noodles, is what it was.
Yes, and that kills me.
Yeah, I
Because
know.
there was wonderful regular noodles just sitting there, and
I know.
and spaghetti is my favorite meal, and it just gets ruined with spaghetti squash, because that's a alternative for some people, but it's just not for me.
Well, I went to the Greek festival and I picked up a cookbook, and I had made the meatballs. It said Festival of Meatballs, but I think I did something wrong with the recipe as usual. And
Not you.
And they had way too many onions, so it was like this onion ball with meat.
Trader Joe, simple sauce.
Yeah.
With our deer meat and gluten free. I mean,
Okay.
you don't need to change a good thing.
So I'm gonna tell everybody the best spaghetti sauce ever is from Trader Joe's. It's $1.99. It is not organic. Sorry.
That's why it's so good.
It is so good. Everyone who comes to our house who has our spaghetti always says this is the best spaghetti of their life.
And that's been like 5 people in the last year, so they've all loved it.
Are you trying to be facetious right now?
I'm just being sarcastic.
Okay. Well, our spaghetti is so good. And then I use that sauce. I saute onions and then put the meat in there. We do 50% deer meat, 50% cow meat. It sounds so weird.
Cow meat.
Cow meat. Beef. Okay. And then I usually have gluten-free noodles on the side, or gluten-free pasta on the side. And then I also roast spaghetti squash. So I do the spaghetti squash. They do the gluten-free pasta. What?
No, I'm salivating over what you normally cook, because last night was not that.
Do you feel cheated?
I feel horribly cheated.
Okay. Well, last
And I
night
saw those spaghetti and meatballs on that plate, and I was like, yes, I just finished swimming a mile. I just finished running a couple miles. I was coming in to get some good food, and it wasn't that good.
Well, you know what? You are welcome to make dinner for our family anytime.
That's why this is a very awkward conversation, because I don't normally complain, because I've learned to enjoy food for fuel.
Oh, really? You've learned to enjoy food for fuel. Okay, that's awesome. Thanks a lot. Well, anyway, if anybody would like to know, that sauce is from Trader Joe's, and it's $1.99. Of course, with inflation, it's probably $10.99 now. So you can find it at Trader Joe's. Okay, the next thing that I wanted to talk about is showing up for your spouse when they're going through a cycle. So I want to switch to a little bit of a serious conversation.
Wonderful.
About cycles and how we're affected by them. One thing I noticed recently is that Trey has a cycle that he goes through when he's under stress. And
Amy has her cycle that she's going through.
I have my stress cycle that I go through. I'm not talking about a menstrual cycle. I'm actually talking about...
Yeah, we got those out. We got a new cycle now. You get rid of one, you get another one. What?
Listen, okay.
Sorry.
What I'm talking about is stress cycle and how that affects you versus how it affects me.
Okay.
And how we can care for each other when we're in it. So let's talk about you first.
How can you care for me when I'm being a jerk?
Well, okay. You know what? I'll tell you what. I will share what my cycle is, and then you can share what yours is. And then I'll correct you into how it actually really is.
I
But
don't
that's
even
okay.
want to share mine. I would like for you to just go ahead and
No,
interpret it for me.
For me, my cycle is I start getting stressed about something happening, and then it compounds and it builds, and then I create tension and inflammation in my body by contracting my muscles. I like holding my shoulders up, and then it builds with a tension headache, and then that usually explodes into a really bad headache or migraine. And I have had that show up this week. And then I go and I'm down for like 2 days. And that's happened to me these past couple of days, which, by the way, if you've been listening about how I've been affected by migraines, I still want to say my migraines are so much better, but there's still a few that are trickling in there that we're working on. So I'm actually going to go back to Dr. Smith on November 7th, and we'll find out if there's something that he missed in my nose, or, you know, a problem that my nose has created. I don't know, my sinuses. Anyway, so I'm down for a couple of days, and then I come out of it and I have a new outlook on life. I'm just, things worked out in my own mind, but it's very similar to Trey's. And Trey's cycle has happened. It was like, I want to say it was about 6 weeks ago. It was a Saturday.
Oh.
Yeah.
At 4 p.m.? What are we breaking down the specifics
it
here?
was a Saturday. And Trey was a little antsy that day. I remember we were at Avery's swim meet. Trey was a little antsy and kind of a little irritable, but wasn't bad. And then Avery missed one of her events, and you just went off. You went off on her. You were so mad at her for doing that and talking about her irresponsibility and all this stuff, and just went off on her.
And I stand by that.
I know. But then on Sunday, you were literally the epitome of those Instagram videos where it was like, everybody is all like, the parents are mad at their kids in the car yelling at them, and then they go into church and they're like, our God is an awesome God, he reigns. Okay, that was Trey. An absolute bear in the morning, and then at church you were fine, then
put on that polish.
Oh man. And you're like praying, and I'm thinking inside my head, fake. Yeah.
And
then,
I'm the one needing to help with things?
Yes, you do. Okay. And then and then you get out of church, and I remember that day, Sunday, it got ugly. Like that night you were just so irritable, pissed off at the world. And then Monday came around. Monday is when you hit your peak, and you were so angry about different things that were happening. I remember you came home and you were completely overwhelmed with whatever was going on in the house. And then you were snapping at everyone. And then Monday evening, you just like withdrew. And I remember telling you in that moment, like, hey, do you need to go? Like, just go. Like, do you need to go to bed? Do you need to go to your room? Like, do you need to go for a run?
You go sit in timeout.
What do you need? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, just go. I got this. Like, I'll take over. It's fine. Go. Withdraw. Okay. Then you slept. You slept Monday, and I think that you slept possibly all the way until Tuesday morning. And then Tuesday morning, you had remorse for the actions that you had. And then you were just kind of in shock. And I remember seeing you, and you were just like, really, you were just remorseful. I don't know other way to say it. But you were remorseful at how you were snapping at everybody. And then Tuesday night, you had an apology, and you apologized to everyone. And then you went to bed early again because your energy was drained. And then the next day was Wednesday. And this is when you had this whole new outlook on life. You were happy again. And I wrote down the cycle.
Oh.
Yes, I did. I wrote it down because there is It's similar to mine.
Did you lead this whole podcast out with let's talk about this, and then now we're going to just be me and not you?
Well, actually, I think it's very similar in the way that you and I have our stress response, because the similarities in withdrawal, like and sleep, I had to go withdraw and remove myself. You had to completely take over. Then
you okay?
I slept I went to bed early for 2 days in a row and slept and slept and slept all day on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember now. And then I woke up, and then today I'm like, boom, I'm ready to go.
Well, because last night we talked about it and it was like, hey, this is what I think is happening.
Yes.
I think you're regressing back to a couple years ago when all these things were going on, and you're just taking on all this emotion and worry and stress over things that we have no control over, and you're holding it in your body, which is now going into your neck, and everything's just locked up. And it's like you need to have some self-care and make sure that you're taking care of yourself and releasing this and doing the practices that you teach other people, because you got to do it for yourself.
Okay, so the way that you showed up for me is how I want to show up for you, which I had not been in the past. So
I like where this is going.
in the past, when you would have the type of cycle that I just described, I would actually get mad at you.
Yes, you do.
Did. These past 2 times, you know, I did not get that mad. I was not. I didn't take it personally.
Yes,
okay?
Yes,
so
that's fair.
In the past, I would have gotten upset at you.
Yep.
For acting the way that you did. And then I would have withdrew myself and then probably got a migraine myself.
Yep.
And so we were literally
you'd
bouncing.
Be worried about it.
Yes. And
stressed about it.
And then I wouldn't talk to you.
Yep.
For like days, I would not talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the other thing that dawned on me. By me withdrawing from you, I basically felt abandonment. But I abandoned myself. I literally did it to myself.
Yes,
so my response, I cannot change you. I cannot change your actions, but I can change how I respond to you. And when this happened, when this started at Avery's swim meet, I had a chance to look at it from the outsider looking in without taking any of this personally, and say and keep my calm, because I saw that something was happening with you that had nothing to do with me, and I needed to keep my cool and truly support you in whatever it is you were going through calmly, and not in a way that was jabbing back at you. So basically, when you would like snap at me about something, I wouldn't snap back. I would just do it was hard. It was hard, but I would keep my calm so that we wouldn't go back and forth. And instead of getting pissed off at you, I said to you, how can I help you? What can I do?
Yeah, and that shocked me, because I was like, I don't know. Just leave me alone, or I need my time.
Well, and at first you told me, I asked you, what do you need? And you said, nothing, just leave me alone. And that told me enough. Okay, I'll leave you alone. And then 24 hours later, you came back to me and said, okay. And you called me, and then you just like barfed all over the phone everything that you needed. And what I loved that, because I was like, wow, this is great.
It was a very vulnerable place.
Yes.
Like I don't remember ever being that vulnerable with you for a long time, actually.
Yeah.
So it was helpful, and I appreciate, the way you handled it, because obviously I had a lot going on, and I didn't realize until I got it all out. Well, and then when I got it all out, I was like, oh, that's it? Okay, cool. Let's go.
Well, okay. So
it's no big deal. I can handle that.
So we were thrown off for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, you were great. Okay. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we were thrown off. If I had responded to you the way that I have responded to you in the past, by getting mad at you, it would have taken 2 weeks for us to recover from something like that.
I think we've I mean, yeah, that's
A week and a half.
That's in the past. I think we've shortened that gap through the years.
I know, but that's why I wanted to talk about this
But
on
I'm
this
glad you're having this
podcast.
epiphany.
But this is why I wanted to talk about this on this podcast, because I think there are a lot of couples out there that have not recognized the cycles that each of them go through and how they respond to stress. And if you can take yourself out of it and step aside and not take it personally, you can actually help your partner through it instead. If they want the help, you ask them what they need, then you'll get out of it sooner, and then they will show up for you in the same manner.
So last night was an example of kind of understanding where each other was at, because you had this horrible last 2 or 3 days, and when I got home, you were wanting me to show up and be there for you to kind of, hey, are you okay? Is everything all right? What can we do? And you were telling me some information that kind of stressed me out, because it was like talking about your surgery and all the other things. And it's like, what do you mean you didn't do this or that you didn't do that? And I was stressed about that on top of my day. And I was like, look, I can't be there for you right now. I need to go take care of me. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, look, I'm not trying to be a jerk right now, but I can't be what you need me to be right now. And I said, I got to go get in this pool. I got to go get in this lake and swim.
In a year, I would have taken that personally, and I would have felt like I would have taken it personally and then been offended that I was trying to talk to you about something and then you didn't listen. And I would have been upset.
And I wouldn't have had the courage to say it, because I didn't want to get in a fight. In that moment, I was just like, look, I know what you need right now, but I can't be that guy. I've had a horrible day. I've had a long day, and I need to go get this off of me. And so I went and swam a mile, felt amazing. I came back out and ran 3 miles, then got in the cold plunge. And then I came out of that a different person. Like, I got rid of that anxiousness and that frustration, and I got rid of the day, because the day was tough. And so it allowed me to get myself back right for round 2, which is family time. We had Aunt Rebecca there. We had all 3 of our kids there. We had you coming out of your 2-day coma. And it was like, okay, I can now be a part of this in a healthy way, because I was not in a healthy place.
Well, a year ago, if you had said that to me, I would have gotten offended and mad. And then it would have created a whole other issue.
Oh yeah, it'd have been.
But when you told me that, because I started to unload something off of me, and I tried to unload it on you. Actually, I just was trying to share it, but not necessarily unload, because that wasn't the situation. But it told me in that moment, I was like, okay, he's not in the mental space to be able to handle what I'm trying to tell him right now, and that's okay. It's okay. It's not a big deal. Just, I'll talk to him about it later. And then I went inside. So I wish that we could go back like 15 years and go tell our younger self, like, hey, do you see what he's doing right there? He's just under stress. Or, hey, do you see that migraine that she has?
That's not about you. That's
It's
something.
not about you. Half the time, it's not about.
What is that called? Wisdom?
I guess. I don't know. It just would have saved.
Experience?
Would have saved a lot of arguments and issues. And
save me wanting to try and leave you all those times.
Whatever. Yeah. So anyway, I just I like that we're having each other's back, and we're recognizing each other's stress cycles when those come. I mean, you honestly, you can do all the self-care that you want, but you can still get hit with stress. I mean, it's life. But the thing is that if you get so used to what calmness and peace and tranquility feel like,
yeah,
then when you are hit with stress, you recognize it so much more and faster, and you're able to, it doesn't feel comfortable. For a lot of people,
hey, this isn't me. This isn't who I've worked so hard to get away from this person and change these habits and not have these reactions and not be what I'm being. And whenever that you get a consistency of not having that in your life, and then it comes back in. Yeah, it's exactly what you said. It's you can instantly see it, and it's like, whoa, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Let's figure that out. we need that going.
I think that most people do not recognize their stress cycle, and being stressed is actually comfortable. It's all they know. All they know is anxiety. All they know is stress. And I'm not as anxious person. You're more of an anxious person.
Well, I have a hard time resting in peace because I've been so anxious my entire life, and I've just lived a very, I guess, fast paced. And so to just sit on the couch and relax, or find a relaxing place and enjoy that peace in that tranquility, it was uncomfortable in the beginning because I didn't understand how to be tranquil and just be peaceful.
Well, for years,
it took learning.
The only time that you would actually sit still to relax was if you were drinking.
Oh yeah.
That was your way of, you never got to experience peace and tranquility without the alcohol for a long time. Sure. Unless we were out having fun, but we're doing stuff. It's that silence that really starts to bring forward some of those true feelings of what's going on.
And I think, it's very similar to what Jason said on the podcast a couple weeks ago, where his life is just a maturation of the compounds of the things he continues to do well and to do consistently and to do with discipline. And I think, over the years, you and I have continued to work on our marriage. We've worked on ourselves, and the compounding effect is starting to take place, where we're recognizing that we have a lot of successes from the hard work that we've done. And we can look back on our younger selves and who we were and where we were, and we can kind of identify some of the struggles that we were having and why. Yeah. And it's pretty cool.
Well, I just encourage anybody listening that if your partner is stressed all the time, that may look different. That may look like anger. It may look like constant frustration. And that's more on Trey's end. Mine looks like actual physical pain of migraines and being down. And I get like real scatterbrained, and I start forgetting things. So it looks different for everybody, but the reality is that if you can keep your calm and not join in on their stresscapade, then you can be better grounded for your spouse. And just as simple a question is, hey, I noticed that you're not being yourself right now, and something may be wrong. Do you want to talk about it? And is there anything that I can do for you? And if they start snapping back at you, you can say, hey, please don't talk to me that way. What do you need right now? How are you feeling? And you don't have to tell them how they feel. You can ask them, how are they feeling? Some people have never been asked, like, hey, how are you feeling right now? Some people just have never been asked that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wish that we could go back and tell ourselves that. Okay. Have each other's back. Marriage is teamwork, whether it's physically sick, emotionally sick, or mentally sick. Yeah. We go through all these different periods of our life. Happy fall, everyone. I think this episode comes out, it may be somewhere around Thanksgiving. So yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Not really. Okay, well, I think that's all, folks. What? Why are you laughing?
I'm just laughing at you because you were closing that out well.
Thanks. Yeah. Do you have anything that you wanted to add? How much you love me or any of that kind of stuff?
I think we're both a little scatterbrained today. You're 30 minutes late to podcast, and I left our son out front of the stoop at school.
Well, it's not stupid, but yeah, everyone.
The stoop.
Oh, the stoop. Yeah. Trey drives up to school. He's on the phone. This is what happens when men are on the phone. Sorry, but it's true.
I wouldn't say just men. Okay.
If I was dropping River off at school, I would get off the phone. But
I don't normally drop River off at school.
Okay, well, that's part of the issue. But anyway, Trey goes and just bye and lets him out. And River's outside. Like, all the doors are locked.
In my brain, I see
He's
him
just
going
standing
in
there,
that window.
our poor little 7-year-old, about to get kidnapped.
Hey, he was all right. He was maybe 2 minutes. But man, the wonderful owner that the school that called me, I felt like I was in the principal's office.
You were. She don't mess around.
She was.
Was it Bethany that called you?
Yeah.
She's tough.
I'm telling you, yes, ma'am. I understand. I am so sorry. This will never happen again.
You know what?
I was very apologetic.
Bethany is in her early 30s. Okay. I wish.
She's a boss lady.
She is. Man, at 31 maybe, I think?
Absolute
At
boss
31
lady.
years old, if I could be as assertive and confident as she is, I mean.
It's like, Mr. Castles, we cannot have that happen.
Oh, yeah. I wish I could
We
have
are
done
liable
that.
for your child, and we take it very seriously. Yes, I am so sorry.
Ooh, you got your butt handed to ya.
Oh, I felt horrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was
should.
scattered. I mean, my brain wasn't there. I'm everywhere right now, and I love the rhythm of it. It's very fast paced, but organization and structure are very key to me when things start to speed up. Mm-hmm. And if I don't stay structured and organized, I get a little erratic.
Well, I think it's important to keep the house clean, keep your things organized, keep clutter. If you have a busy lifestyle.
But what happened to you this morning, though? I mean, we're 30 minutes late today.
Well, I took Avery and I was just talking to Rebecca when I got back in.
Just
and
hanging out.
Yeah, I'm like, I got so much time today. Oh, why is clock sure is going slow? This feels weird. Something's interesting. Something's a little off. And then it says 8:47. I'm like, wait a second. I'm not supposed to leave at 9. I'm supposed to be there at 9. So anyway.
That's the aftermath of her stress release of 3 days with a headache.
Well, when we come back, we'll be talking about Scotland. Did I say that?
Scotland, yeah.
Did I say, is that Scottish accent or is that Scotland? I don't know. Not even. All I know is I'm going to have high tea, baby. I love some high tea.
Some high tea?
Yeah. It's like high hour tea, high tea. It's a high tea in the afternoon. It's like a Scottish thing, like a European thing. Tea in the afternoon. Everybody drinks tea.
I'll Google that.
Yeah. It's just tea. I don't know. It's tea. In a cute cup. I love hot tea.
I'm going to have me some scotch.
Okay. Actually, they have a whiskey tour over there.
Scottish, Scotland.
Okay.
That's where scotch comes from.
All right. Well, you better not drink too much because they drive on the left side of the road and we're going to have to drive.
You think I'm going to be driving?
You do not want me driving in Scotland. I don't know if our insurance carries over.
Me with a few scotches is better than you sober any day.
Thanks a lot. All right. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
Take care.
Thanks for listening to another episode of According to the Castles with Amy and Trey. Be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. To stay up to date with the Castles, follow Amy on Instagram @acastles. Until next time, have faith, enjoy life, and love abundantly.